Hi everyone, greetings on this Thursday. It's the 24th, and what a beautiful day in the neighborhood it has been. I actually had to work outside for a few hours today and got to enjoy some of it. Tomorrow's not going to be so bad either, so take in as much of that as you can because, yes, we're still talking about a wet one that could add up to an inch and a half of rain just over the course of your Saturday with some lingering showers into the latter half of your weekend as well. The showers already expected have already changed. A few scheduled activities for the weekend, the Halloween weekend, if you will. It's the last one before Halloween. So we'll update you on a few things of that note in just a few moments and your forecast, which does see clouds on the increase with another system moving in tomorrow and into your weekend. We'll update that for you. We will have a report of a McGoffin County man jailed for arson after setting fire to two structures night before last and trying to set fire to a third while two people were sleeping inside that residence at around 3 o'clock that morning. 3 Johnson Countyans arrested for burglary after they dropped their shoes and their burglary tools. One said he was actually a deputy. He was not. And Community Day 2019 is over and done in history as of the check presentation ceremony earlier this week. A few highlights from that and a few words from a few folks coming in just a few moments. So let's go to other headlines before we get there. First and foremost, a former Morehead State University employee has been indicted by the sitting Rowan County grand jury. 51-year-old Sherry P. Ward has been indicted for a count of fraudulent use of a credit card. Authorities allege that she used a Morehead State Visa card and made purchases for herself and personal use totaling over $167,072 from December of 2017 through July of this year. The indictment says that Ward was employed in the Department of Art and Design, and she also used a signature stamp to forge the signature of Dr. Jean Petch to make a money transfer or to transfer money request from the Morehead State University Foundation. In all, nearly a dozen counts of forgery between May of 18 and February of this year, when Morehead State Police confirmed that she transferred almost $50,000 from the foundation in increments of anywhere from about $5,000 at a time to $11,000 at a time. She will next be in court in January of next year for a status hearing. Now, there was actually another separate employee who was indicted by a sitting Rowan County grand jury earlier this year over the course of the summer for a much lesser offense of about $5,000 on a MSU issued credit card. Well, now over a month. I tell you what, these are some of my favorite people in the world because they build America's sports car, the Corvette. But they're not happy right now with their contracts, which means the new C8 Corvette, the mid-engine, of course, that most of the world has been waiting for. It's a love or hate situation. We'll not go into that. Will not be rolling off the assembly line at Bowling Green as was planned, or as soon as was planned, because now they're well into a month, or a little bit more than a month, into the United Auto Workers strike at General Motors facilities all across the United States. United Auto Workers at the Corvette assembly plant voted no yesterday to the proposed contract. It did include a signing bonus of around $10,000 to $11,000, also a pay increase of 6% over the course of their contract period. However, it also included language that indicated that GM would be closing several plants, Maryland, Michigan, one in Ohio as well. There will be a final vote maybe tomorrow evening after over 50,000 United Auto Workers will make their votes in favor or not of that proposed contract by GM. Here's some other money matters for you. Wow, what a good problem to have. Not one, but two people from the eastern Kentucky area have cashed in their scratchers for $1 million each, playing the same game. It's a break Fort Knox scratch-off game. It's a $20 scratch-off ticket, and top prize being $1 million. Two of them. We don't know their names. You can remain anonymous if you win the lottery in Kentucky. One from Lawrence County, however, who scratched a ticket after they bought it at the D&J Tobacco that's in Louisa. There was another winner, still remaining anonymous at this time, that was purchased at the Zip Zone number 17 as well. I'm not sure of the county, but $1 million each, minus taxes. Who cares? What a day those folks are having. With that said, your local headlines are next. Stay with me.
After years of politics as usual, we now have an auditor that follows the data, Mike Harmon. Endorsed by Kentucky Right to Life, the NRA, and the Fraternal Order of Police, he's taken politics out of the office. Mike called out the state's pension systems for their lack of transparency, and Mike Harmon audited the CLEP fund to ensure law enforcement and their families get the money they deserve. On November 5th, follow the data and vote for the best choice. Mike Harmon for auditor.
Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. We have finally done it. After years and years of extensive testing, we not only invented the chicken sandwich, we have perfected the chicken sandwich. Come and try it and love it with a big, famous dip, breast strip, pickles and mayonnaise, or however you like it fixed. And if you like, make it a double. Just make your way to Lee's to get it and grab a cookie while you're there. At your Sayersville Lee's famous recipe, where even our ice is famous.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
At Sayersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sayersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sayersville National. This McGoffin County man remains jailed on serious charges. He was initially charged at or near the time of the investigation on scene for public intoxication of drugs. Those charges have now been amended to include 2 counts of arson and 1 count of wanton endangerment. He is accused of trying to set fire to a McGoffin County residence with 2 people sleeping inside after setting fire to 2 structures which were completely destroyed, as well as their contents. At around 2:30 or 3 o'clock yesterday morning, the Sayersville Fire Department was called out to a structure fire involving an outbuilding and a garage that sat on Dotson Branch here in McGoffin County off of Burning Fork. The fire allegedly started by this man, 32-year-old Dustin Reisner of Sayersville. The Sayersville Fire Department arrived and tried to put out the flames to the 2 structures, the garage and the outbuilding, but they were already too far gone and were a total loss. There were several firefighters on the scene, and as well as police began the investigation into the incident, speaking with the victim, the property owner, who had actually returned home and was able to access video surveillance footage that showed Reisner coming onto the victim's property, as well as walking away from the area of the garage and the building that were involved in the fire, as well as trying to set fire to the victim's home. The video actually, according to police citations penned by the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department, says that video shows Reisner setting fire to or igniting a propane tank with a heater attached to it, the flame coming from the top, and then trying to set fire to the home, in addition to the 2 structures which were already burned. And inside that residence, asleep, were the victim's 2 of age sons. The building and the garage also had parked inside it a pickup truck, an automobile, a lawnmower, ATVs, and other personal items and tools and equipment. All a total loss. There were no injuries reported as far as we understand with the two individuals who were sleeping inside the home, but Reisner, who was initially jailed at or near scene for public intoxication of drugs, was later charged with arson in the first degree, attempted arson, arson in the second degree, and wanton endangerment in the first degree. He remains jailed in the Big Sandy. And 3 Johnson counties were arrested this week, charged with burglary, one with an additional charge that we'll go into in just a few seconds after authorities responded to a complaint. It appears as though one of them involved was actually breaking into their neighbor's residence, leaving behind their burglary tools and their shoes. Around 1:36 in the a.m. yesterday morning, authorities received an anonymous phone call of a burglary on Kentucky Route 172 in Johnson County. That person calling to report that there were 3 people, believed to be these 3 people, in a home that appears to be a next-door residence to one of the 3 accused. When the Johnson County Sheriff's Department got there, the officer could hear footsteps and branches breaking out behind the home. They also found that the rear door of the residence had been pried open. They cleared the house and didn't find anyone. However, they did find a bag of burglary tools that had been left on the back porch of the residence. And then after a little further searching, they found 2 people hiding in a wooded ditch line just west of the home. The officer actually followed footprints to them, both of them barefooted. Their shoes were found somewhere along the property on the path. But those 2 told the officers that there was actually a third subject at a house nearby on a hill, and then gave permission to search that house and go in. That house, we believe, belonged to Kimberly A. Kelly. She gave permission for authorities to search there. Kelly was one of the 2 in the ditch that was arrested for burglary. The other was William Charles Rudd, Jr., who was sweating wet and muddy and also placed under arrest for burglary. The third, to the left of your screen, was Norman Travis Blevins. He was inside the home that Rudd and Kelly gave permission for police to enter, and he was arrested for burglary as well as impersonating a police officer. When authorities went in to search the home, they encountered Blevins, who claimed to have a badge and be a sheriff's deputy himself. He was not. Well, even though at the time I was making the announcement last night about the Ghost Walk and all the Halloween-related events set for downtown in Sagersville Saturday night, I really knew what was coming, but you have to wait and see. It is the weather after all. But the weather, after all, has postponed the big event set for Saturday. And we'll go from there into the rest of your McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar. Yeah, really not coming as a surprise. And even when I was making the announcement last night about this Saturday's Halloween event hosted by Sagersville Renaissance on Main, well, we had a feeling that it was going to be a postponed event, and that it has. Just waiting to confirm the weather, says Sagersville City Hall and the mayor's office. So the big event that was set to begin 6:30 Saturday with the Beta Club students and the crafts and the snacks and the haunted house, or the haunted ghost walk, rather, and of course the dancing in the streets to Monster Mash and Ghostbusters and Thriller. All that has been bumped up to Monday. Same time, same event, same fun, same frights, starting at 6:30 on Monday, due to the showers and some winds that we'll talk about when we get to your Licking Valley RECC outlook in just a few moments. So the Ghost Walk and everything else, Monday starting at 6:30 in downtown Sagersville at the Renaissance Building. And here's an important, we've been, of course, covering the fact that the back of the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center is now the new home for Skills U and the Adult Education Center. Well, they're having an open house to dedicate it as such. So if you want or need to get your GED, the Big Sandy Community and Technical College Skills U is now back open for business in Magoffin County in a partnership with the Magoffin County Fiscal Court. They've moved to the back of the community center, and they're having an open house event coming up next Tuesday from noon until 2 at the Skills U Center. And all the public is invited to come and see and learn about their program, talk to some of their students, and meet the folks that have made this happen and see the opportunities and see how you can answer the question, where do you want to go? Skills U can help you get there with your GED, preparation for college or training, job-related certifications, and much, much more. That is, once again, next Tuesday from noon till 2. coming up tomorrow, the Chosen for Purpose Value of Committee Ladies Conference at the Church of God of the Union Assembly, 10 to 1 tomorrow. That's next to the McGoffin County Board of Education. And the 6th Annual Veterans Appreciation Lunch is to be hosted at the Appalachian Hospice Care Veterans Committee at the the Appalachian Hospice Care Veterans Committee at the Stumbo Wilkinson Center next Thursday from 11 till 2. I'll remind you when it gets a bit closer. And this weekend, of course, will be the last weekend for the Creepy Creek Haunted House, hosted by the Middle Creek Fire Department tomorrow night. Looks to be a sure go. Saturday night, they might have it, but it might be a little wet. 8 o'clock nightly, just $5 per fright per person. Well, per person, not per fright, because you're going to get a bunch of them for just that $5. And doesn't cost you $5, doesn't cost you anything to have your announcement and birthdays and anniversaries seen here. Whether it's diabetes, arthritis, or injury causing you foot and ankle problems, or excruciating pain in your heel that's often easily treatable, Dr. Cheryl Cheney has over 21 years in group and private practice as one of the region's leading podiatrists, and she's now practicing right here in Sayersville. Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney is now seeing new patients, young and old, at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sayersville, just next to the Lee's Famous Recipe. Call for an appointment today. Right now, for pennies on the dollar, a huge selection of like-new laptop computers, a fresh stock of video games, the Cadillac of dog tracking and training systems, new hunting rifles, accessories, and ammo. And they always stock, buy, sell, and pawn gold and silver coins and jewelry with a new selection just in at Parkway Gun and Pawn in Sayersville, 349 Pawn. You're going to absolutely fall in love with all the new arrivals at the seasonal shop, from all the autumn colors and styles in ladies' designs, shoes and accessories, Charlie Page, Mud Pie, you know the name brands, to jewelry, Simply Southern, Natural Life, caps, cups, and more, to rooms of home decor. And all you'll need to decorate for the fall and Halloween seasons, plus everything from coffees to candles, but hurry, because everything Christmas is already arriving daily and will be out soon, and fall will be gone before you know it. At Frazier's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sayersville.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great, and it's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Sayersville. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sayersville. 349-8785. Well, it has become a staple of not just entertainment, but support, monetarily and otherwise, and I'm sure many ways, to well more than a dozen local nonprofit organizations. Our fire departments and rescue squad and many other organizations, which the majority of them, since its inception, have participated in Community Day each and every year since it's been around, and it's now got 16 years officially in the books with this week's check presentation ceremony, where Donna Sager of the Sayersville National Bank and Scotty Patrick, of course, the Community Foundation founder and benefactor, were pleased to announce that another nearly $100,000 will go into the total, now adding up to about $1.2 million.
As you know, our 16th annual McGoffin County Community Day is in the books. And and it was an outstanding event. We had a great crowd. Our local citizens participated, supported our activities, and we want to thank everyone who made Community Day this year a success. This year, our civic organizations will receive $83,200 to be used for their charity and service activities.
Another big year for the 16th annual McGoffin County Community Day, where they continue to strive to support our local nonprofits for them to raise funds to essentially give it right back to our community through the means of either services, be it through fire protection, medical assistance, scholarships, or the number of ways that they all support us via their respective organizations. The McGoffin County Women's Club, the Kiwanis, the McGoffin County Rescue Squad, the Christians Care Fund, Miss McGoffin Scholarship Pageant, the DAV, South McGoffin Community Activist, the Bloomington Fire Department, the Kentucky Mission Bible Training Center, the McGoffin County Youth Baseball Organization, the Rainbow Girls, all working so hard to raise funds, with, of course, some working very hard to raise some really big funds.
The Middle Fork Fire Department, $10,539.85. North McGoffin Fire Department, $10,398.05. District 3 Fire Department, $11,195.14. The Syersville Fire Department, $12,388.05.
But regardless of whether an organization took home $1,000 or $12,000, all of these dollars are going to be put to very good use, whether it is for our elderly or for our youth.
We live in the best county around. Johnson, Floyd, Morgan, Pike County, they have a big population. Guess what? We had 245 kids play baseball. 245.
And with that over $80,000 that was distributed among our organizations, that puts the McGoffin County Community Day support right at about $1.2 million. 16 years in and counting.
Well, you know, every year when we start planning for Community Day, we say, well, how's it going to go, and who's going to do this, and what are the issues, and all that kind of stuff. But somehow it all comes together, and it turns out to be a terrific day for McGoffin County. So I'm just so proud of the people of McGoffin County because we've come together, we support each other, and you can see all the enthusiasm everybody has. So, you know, we got 16 in the book, and we're going to work on the next 16.
And this is indeed a full year-round worth of planning. I've actually been fortunate enough to be on the Community Foundation now for quite some time, relatively short time, but they are, I promise, already working at next year and trying to come up with new ideas each and every year to try to find out how we can make it different, better, more interesting, more profitable. And any and all of those suggestions will be greatly appreciated. Share them with any Community Foundation member, myself, or what have you. We'd like to know what you think about Community Day and where it can go from here and forever, essentially. With that said, it's forecast time. I guess I was trying to delay it. We need the rain. Rain's a good thing. Got to have it. I'd just rather have it during the week. That's not the case as of tonight's forecast. We do have some changes coming. Clouds on the increase ahead of another system that comes into town tomorrow. For the weekend, indoor plans or a raincoat recommended for definitely your Saturday. Yeah, to talk more about those showers that have postponed the Ghost Walk and everything Halloween in downtown Sagersville from tomorrow night till Monday, let's take a look at your forecast where we have some tweaks to be made. No shock there. A low of 45 tonight. We'll stay out of the 30s, mostly clear skies, calm winds. Gosh, what a beautiful day it was. I actually had to work out in it a little bit, and I so did not mind it. A low of 45 tonight will be followed by about 64 tomorrow, partly sunny, and really a nice day for your Friday. Now, the showers that we're looking at do roll in, but we're talking about during the overnight. So tomorrow looks to be a beautiful day, mid-60s. Not quite as warm as today, but still very nice. 53 for tomorrow night's low. A little warm evening air, or warmer evening air, as we see a little more warmer air out ahead of a front that's going to push us up to the upper 60s on Saturday. But with that, we'll see showers. Not a chance, but a likelihood of showers, almost a certainty of some showers. Southeasterly winds around 6 miles per hour, so maybe gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour or so. We might hit a half to 3/4 of an inch during the day on Saturday, maybe another half to 3/4 of an inch. That's maybe up to 1.5 inches total over the course of Saturday night. So 68. Breezy southeasterly winds up to 20-25, and showers pretty much across the board on your Saturday and Saturday night, and they'll linger into the latter half of your Sunday. I think about a 50% chance of those showers hanging around until about 1 o'clock on your Sunday. Otherwise, we'll just see some clouds thereafter. Don't expect to see any sun, but 65 degrees on your Sunday. And we'll hit 67 at the start of next week, which I'm not excited to see roll around that quick. But 67, 49, mostly sunny. We'll see a dry day, but then by late Monday night, shower chances come back in. Only about a 20% chance, and we'll see a 20% to 30% chance of some showers pretty much all of next week. The temperatures Monday, upper 60s, mid 60s Tuesday, partly sunny again on your Wednesday. Take another hit temperature-wise, though. 50s, 58 on your Wednesday, 54 on your Thursday. I've still got a couple of big stories that I've been kind of holding on to till the week's end, and I'll get to those starting tomorrow and hopefully finishing tomorrow before the weekend. Thank you for watching, and good night.